See, scripturally speaking, Jesus gave us one method, and that is immersion. Absolutely one. But let me give you how the sprinkling baptism and the child baptism have come. Okay? Once you know how they have come into the church, you can be sympathetic with it. అంటే దాన్ని నువ్వు తృణీకరించక్కర్లేదు, అంగీకరించకూడదు అక్కర్లేదు. ఓకే, అవి ఈ కారణంతో వచ్చినాయి అని చెప్పచ్చు. ఓకే, మొదలు చైల్డ్ బ్యాప్టిజం ఎందుకు వచ్చింది అంటే, ఇన్ 5th century, around 475 AD or something like that, in North Africa, there was a plague. In that plague, thousands of children died. Thousands of children. So, when Christian children died, they had a problem. Christian parents who put children ki a problem వచ్చింది. ఎట్లాగంటే, you become the church member only through baptism, but the children were not baptized, so they are not church members. So they cannot be buried in the church cemetery. So that was a big problem. They can't be buried in the cemetery, and they can't be buried outside because they are saying your mummy and daddy are Christians, go there. So Augustine, there was a Christian leader by name Augustine. Augustine gave a proposal. He said, okay, we will do like this. When a child is born, on the 8th day, we will give baptism. When we are giving baptism, I need 4 people, father, mother, and along with them another father and mother. And that other father and mother is called godfather and godmother. All the 4 people will stand before the church and they promise the church, we are going to bring up this child in the knowledge of the word of God and into salvation. That is the promise. So based on the promise, the pastor gives the baptism. That baptism is only useful to bury a person if he is dead. That's all. Nothing more. So as this baby grows to 14 or 15 years, teens, once this person becomes a believer, he will go to the pastor and say, Pastor Garu, nenu marmonskunna. Then the pastor, what he does is this. We have only one baptism. He will not give a second baptism. So what he does is, he brings that person before the church and he ratifies the baptism he has given when he was a small child. And that ratification is called confirmation. Okay? Dhruvikara. Okay? So our confirmation law, he will make this boy to share his testimony. And he will tell, now he is a full member. I am confirming the baptism I gave when he was 8 days old. So that is how the child baptism has come. So some churches have this fear whether this child will grow or not. So they give child baptism. But the child baptism is not sufficient even for marriage. Without confirmation, you can't even go for a Christian marriage. Okay? That child baptism is not sufficient for church membership also. Even if you are going to Lutheran church or CSI church. It's only sufficient for a place in burial ground. That's all. Got it? So that's how some churches give the child baptism. But even today, these Anglican churches, they don't force. They say, if you can wait till your child is an adult, we don't mind. That's how the child baptism has come. Now, how the sprinkling baptism has come. In the year 1517, Martin Luther brought Reformation. After he brought Reformation, he went throughout Germany, started preaching. In one place, there were 22 leprosy people who wanted to accept Jesus Christ. They said, we are convinced, we want to accept Jesus Christ. So, Martin Luther has to give them baptism. So, if they are dipped in any water, nobody will get into that water because all the 22 have leprosy. So, in such situation, Martin Luther suggested, because they have some disease through which they can't enter into the water, we'll pour water on them. That's how the sprinkling baptism has come. Okay? So if somebody is planning to take sprinkling baptism, I will take them aside silently and I will ask them this question: do you have any skin disease? Do you have any phobia towards water? Some people may have phobia. If you have that, it's okay. If you don't have that, you better go for immersion baptism. Okay? So that's how child baptism and immersion baptism has come in the history. So once you know it, you can be compassionate. That's all. You can accommodate. That's all. You cannot be just throwing it out. Okay?